Welcome to Pharmacy Practice News Meeting Highlights, our new convention coverage program. We're here at the 2017 ASHP Midyear Clinical Meeting in Orlando to bring you the latest research and reports from today's professional poster session. For more information, log on to www.pharmacypracticenews.com. Veranika, thank you for joining me on Meeting Highlights today.
Thank you.
So tell us about your cold chain distribution procedures. It sounds very interesting for specialty drugs.
Sure. So as part of our accreditation standards, URAC and ACHC, we're URAC and ACHC accredited specialty pharmacy, they actually are required to have cold chain procedures in place to make sure that we're compliant with the standards. And prior to implementation of the service, we would just use a courier service and hand deliver the medicine to the patient. And then, in fact, if they were not home, we would reschedule that delivery. Right now, we're able to package that medication and leave it at their doorstep if they weren't to be at home at that time.
It's over 60 tests performed on your different configurations of the packaging. What was the result of that?
Yes. So as you can see in our methods, we've done testing over a period of a year. And the reason we did that, we wanted to capture all the different temperature that you would see in the year. And you know, Chicago, we have a whole slew of different temperatures. And we've done a lot of literature searches to see what are other health systems, what are other pharmacies using to get kind of a good idea of what's happening in the marketplace. And we variated the amount of packaging material we used for each separate condition. So whether it was winter, fall, spring, things like that. And we tested the package for over 24 hours. We wanted to make sure if we left that medication at the patient's home, it would remain stable for up to 24 hours and we wouldn't have to worry about the medication losing its integrity.
And there were special sensors within the test packages that gave you specific information about the temperatures of the package.
Exactly. So what we've done, we had a special sensor inside the, we call it dummy medication box, that would monitor the internal temperature of the product. And we also had an outside temperature sensor that we would put on the outside of the box to make sure we know what the range of the temperature was for that day. And as you can see at these figures, this is how we track the successful results. So I wanted to provide an example. The medications that are required to be refrigerated have to stay within the 36 to 46 degrees Fahrenheit in the range. And we use the software to analyze our results. This tells us that this test was successful. However, if you look at the figure 2, you can tell that after a little while, the temperature spikes up, meaning that our results probably weren't so good. So at that point in time, when we had unsuccessful results, we tried to come up with ideas. What do we need to do? Did the medicine get too hot? Did it get too cold? Do we need to add an extra layer of insulation to make sure it doesn't get as cold? So it was more of a trial and error process that we used.
So 3 configurations were the winners, huh?
Yes, definitely. And as you can see from these pictures, we've established validated procedures for the temperature ranges between 20 degrees to 105 degrees Fahrenheit. So your typical winter procedure, fall and spring, as well as the summer procedure. And the difference between the variations is just the amount of ice packs that we use and the amount of insulation and the size of the ice packs as well.
That's great. Any other final conclusions you would like to share with our viewers?
Sure. I think it's been a very extensive process. I think we've done a great job illustrating the success of our program, and we've been able to secure these 3 different packaging methods. We're also working on expanding the temperature range below the 40 degrees Fahrenheit. So when the Chicago weather comes in and we have those extremely freezing temperatures, we're still able to make sure that the medication patients getting is still stable. Also, if we had to package different size medications, we're exploring potentially using different boxes, different size packaging methods. And throughout the delivery process, we also validate our procedures on biannual basis to make sure that the results we have and the methods we have in place are still valid and up to date.
Yeah, I can see that you're going to have to go below 20 if you're talking about Chicago, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's still in the works.
Great. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your being part of Meeting Highlights today.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
For Pharmacy Practice News and Meeting Highlights, I'm Dr. Linda Bernstein.